I think we're live.
Yeah.
Way to go, Steph. Got double systems going on.
We had to run into town to get a whiteboard so that, because it's an important video. Thank you to Cesar Valentine. He kind of gave us a heads up that we've been looking, you know, on WT's website and any documentation for the new rule change that we knew was coming because they put it out in the memo back in at Baku last year.
Exactly a year ago.
Yeah, last May. And then all the rumors, but rumors don't mean anything unless it's documented. So we've been looking for the documentation of the new rule change that all the points are going to go to zero as of June 1st of 2024. Couldn't find it. And Caesar messaged on this morning that they snuck the new rule changes in the referee training seminar videos.
For Paris Olympics.
For Paris Olympics. So I don't know if that's documentation, but they'll probably have it come out written. So anyway, Don's kind of the expert. He's watched the video, like
4 times.
At least 4 times.
Took me 3 to get it straight.
Yeah, because it's very confusing. But so we're going to be talking in layman's terms so that like athletes, coaches, parents, anybody who's invested with your athlete wanting to get, you know, a black belt and go to the Olympics in 2028. This video is for you. So with that, I'm going to hold up. This is the memo that we are talking about. That was last May in Baku. I've posted this many times. So if you, I don't know if you could see it. Screenshot. I should actually hold it. See, look if I can see it. Yeah, there we go.
Those are minutes from the General Counsel?
Yes. And these are posted. It's like page, I don't know, it's section 5, I believe, under reports, World Taekwondo. This was the discussion of the LA 2028 Cycle Olympics, the new Olympic qualification system. So it's definitely worth getting a copy of that. I'll put it over here too. So we're recording this live, but I'm also recording it so we can post this on our YouTube video, so we can post it later, because some people don't have the live, or they don't have time to see it live.
And we'll be posting links to the World Taekwondo video where they did the training session for coaches and referees, and also some screenshots of their PowerPoint presentation, which is what we're going to talk about comes
Yes.
from.
All right, so
Let's have some fun.
yeah, we're gonna have fun. We were gonna wear microphones for the YouTube thing, but I didn't charge them, so we suck technology-wise. We only are good enough to get by.
We survive. That's about it.
So I told Don to write legibly. I'm gonna just let you take it because I watched the video once and I caught a few things, you know, like a new G3. The President's Cups are gonna be G3s now, and you know, some other stuff. But you're the expert.
I don't know about expert, but
Take it away, Don.
I heard what they said. Let's just say that. I'm no expert. So, what they said is what the rumors were, that points go to zero on June 1st of this year, which is in just a couple of weeks, and again in 26. So what that actually means is that when points go to zero on June 1st, there's still a June ranking that includes the May points. So the points will actually go to zero on July 1st, along with any points you get at June events, you know, G events during June. They'll show up in the July rankings. If you don't do anything in June, you'll be at zero. Everybody, CJ Nicholas, Simone Alicia, they'll be zero if they don't do June events. Okay, and they say that the reason they're doing this is that World Taekwondo has had an exception for the last 2 Olympic cycles from the International Olympic Committee, because everybody else apparently is on a 2-year cycle. So the IOC finally said to World Taekwondo, no, you can't do this 4-year points thing. It has to be 2 years. So this came down from IOC. So what is that? Why do you even have a 2024, 2026 cycle? Well, it's vital because your points you earn in 24 to 26 are the points that'll qualify you to get to the
Grand
critical
Prix.
Grand Prix
Grand Prix.
in 26. The second half of 26 are going to have 3 Grand Prix, like usual, and a Grand Prix final. If you remember, they all start in June, usually in Roma. And so you need to qualify for that. And so the points to get to those 3 Grand Prix in 26 will be from 24 to 26, plus 3 Grand Prix challenges. USA Taekwondo announced that Charlotte, North Carolina is getting one of them. It seems like it might be the first one, which should probably be in...
That's a G2, right?
It's a G2, and it's open to everyone in the world. They're just like the Grand Prix challenges.
It'll be like the US Open.
Sort of, yeah. Except that the medalists get an automatic ticket to go to the equivalent Grand Prix. So the June 25 medalists, gold, silver, bronze, single bronze, not 2 bronze, single bronze, get to go straight to the June 26 Grand Prix, which is probably in Rome. So that's a big deal. The other 28 will be from the top 28 Olympic points getters in February, April, and June of 26 for the 3 Grand Prix.
So
Did that make sense?
well, you're talking a lot of words, and we don't want a word salad here.
Okay.
So we need to kind of stick to the basics. So what the rules are going to be is, it still wasn't 100% clear. They didn't say June 1st, 2024, go to 0. But they did say June 1st, 2026, everybody's going to 0. Everybody's going to 0. June 1st, though, it looks like they are going to 0, but there will still be rankings for seedings. And so we're not quite sure what's going to happen on June 1st. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. But one thing they did say is that every year, your points will be 50% removed.
Exactly.
Where it used to be 25% removed, now it's 50% removed.
And then the second year, it's gone anyway, because it goes to 0.
Yes.
So
So that's very important.
the big clue that on June 1st this year, we're going to 0 points, is that they put out a schedule. If you remember,
Yeah.
everybody's allowed to get 40 regular G1 and G2 points in a calendar year. Well, that's going to continue, except with the new system, from June 1st, 24 to December 31st, 24, you'll get your 20 points. You can earn 20 points at G1 and G2s. And then 40 and 25 and 20 again in the first half
Your
of
hand
26.
is covering that, and you did not put those dates on there, which is very
Because there's not enough information. It would have been just all gobbledygook.
You put
It's still too much. But this is the clue, 20, 40, 20. That's why it's going to 0 on June 1st this year. And unfortunately, that means
so you just said July, now you're saying June 1st. We don't know.
July 1st it shows up. June 1st it goes to 0.
Okay.
That will show up on July 1st rankings.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so that means if somebody is, I don't know, ambitious enough to go to the Ecuador Open this year at the end of May, and the seniors are on May 31st in 2 weekends, your points will show up on the June rankings, and then they're gone on the July rankings. Along with your points from the Canada Open earlier this year, the US Open, anything else you did, they're all gone on July 1st. So that was good practice and good training, but some people didn't go to any of them, and maybe that was a good decision. I don't know.
Well, that's, like a few months ago we were doing our emergency broadcast saying, your points are going to go to 0. This is, looks like lawsuit territory.
I don't think so, but
Yeah, when you spend $40,000
yeah.
getting points so you can be ranked a certain way, that's a lawsuit when they didn't even fucking tell you, excuse my language,
Yeah.
About, oh, you just spent $5,000 on a tournament and your points are 0 and it's not going to help you after July.
Except
That's a
that-
big deal.
Except they'd be gone by 28 anyway.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because 26 is you got Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's a separate subject. I don't think that anybody's going to win a lawsuit, but they can go
Well,
ahead and
I'm
try.
just saying the lawsuit wouldn't be with WT if this came down from IOC. That's a lawsuit with IOC.
Well, I'll go for it. Okay, so
Point tampering.
So we mentioned the Grand Prix challenges. Charlotte, North Carolina gets one of them. That's a big deal. And all the Worlds are also this year. And the points for the only kind of G event that's changing ranking are the Grand Prix challenges. They're going from G1 to G2. We've talked about that. And Steph already mentioned the President Cup is going to G3.
We've never had G3.
So obviously the President's Cup are super important now.
But plus, because not just that they're going to G3, but all the President's Cups, you get to cap your points.
You increase your points.
Yeah, so there's a cap at 40, right? And for the year. But if you do President's Cup, you actually get to keep those points. But it's only for President's Cup.
Also, the Grand Prix challenges. If you go to all 3 Grand Prix challenges, and if you got gold at each,
you get to keep those points too.
You just hit the lottery, you get 60 extra points, 20 for each one, and you're going to all 3 Grand Prix, and you're going to the Grand Prix final, and you're going to the Grand Slam. Wow.
Okay, let's talk about the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Because Americans, USAT, ignores the Grand Slam and how important the Grand Slams are.
Right. So the Grand Slams have been changed. Their format has been changed. And they will only happen in 2026 and 27 during the official 2-year Olympic cycle. That wasn't stated, but presumably it's still in China, although that was not stated.
Well, it's a China.
But there's no longer any advantage for China. Because the people that qualify and are invited to Grand Slams are the gold medalists from the actual Grand Prix and the Grand Prix final. The 2 gold medalists in the 2 Olympic weight classes from the World Championships, and the 2 finalists, the gold and silver medalists basically, from the Grand Prix challenges. So that's the athletes that are going to the Grand Slam, and there's no host nation quotas. China or wherever they're held are not getting automatic spots. So that's a major change to the Grand Slams. The other big deal for the Grand Slams, this is huge.
This is huge.
You want to go ahead with it? Go ahead.
With the Grand Slams. So it used to be, well, help me with the details. It used to be that the top 6 ranked were more important than if you won golds at the Grand Slam points.
Sort of.
So the Grand Slams are a loophole into the Olympics. It's always been kind of a roundabout way to get there. And the other way is the top 6.
Right.
Top 5.
Yeah, so that's now
in world's rankings.
Right, so that's now been clarified. This last year, this Olympics right now, the Paris Olympics, if someone was earned the most.
Let me get to the punchline, and you can do the words out
details.
stuff.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So now Grand Slam is more important than the top 6.
There you go.
So they will choose from the Grand Slam winners over the top 6 in world's rankings.
Right.
Then
So the way it works is that this year, for example, if someone like, I'll use female 57, Zhangxi Luao from China was #1 in Olympic points at 57. She was also #1 in Grand Slam merit points. And so that meant that the Grand Slam winner didn't get to go, which was actually Tatiana Menina. And so they picked number 6.
AIM.
They picked number 6, which was Chialing Lo from Taipei. This next cycle, that's not happening. Because if the same thing happens, where the top point, the #1 point getter at the Grand Slams is also in the top 5, oh no, number 6 doesn't get it. It goes to number 2 in the Grand Slam rankings.
So Grand Slams are taking a precedent over...
They get an automatic spot.
Yeah, an automatic spot. USAT athletes, go to the Grand Slams.
If you can, go to the Grand Prix.
Because they have not done that in the past. And we've been saying, God, go to the Grand Slams. It's so important. It's even more important now. If you're not the top 6, do the Grand Slams. And if you win, automatic spot to the Olympics.
Right. And so what they've actually done, in my opinion, is they've made the Grand Prix challenges and the Grand Prix even more important than they were before. And before, they were the most important thing. Now they're even more important.
And
President's Cup has got a lot of points.
Yeah, but it's a G3 now, and you get to cap your point. You can go over the cap.
Yeah, you can get 70 points.
Yeah. So they've made President's Cup a G3, so that's more important. They've made the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix challenges much more important.
Yep.
They've also made the Grand Slams, which is
more fair.
Yes, because before it was kind of a China, they paid money to have this loophole into the Olympics. So now they've made that where it's more, like John said, more fair.
They have to earn their way.
Yeah. So, but it's probably, we don't know where they're going to be. It's probably still going to be in China, but
we don't know. They haven't announced that at all.
But it's much more important. So those 4 things are very, very Grand Slam Challenge, President's Cup, and Grand Prix Challenge, Grand Slams, and the President's Cup. Those 4 are buku important.
I love it. And so June 1st of this year, you can start over again with your annual points. You can earn 20 to year end. And so pick and choose which events you can go to and can afford to go to, because in 25, all those internationals are going to be going to those Grand Prix challenges.
Yep.
And everybody's emphasis on Worlds. You got to get those 100 points from Worlds, because you got to get to those Grand Prix in 26 and 27. There's Grand Prix, 3 Grand Prix, a Grand Prix final in both 26 and 27, and that is many hundreds of points, way bigger than Worlds.
So let me ask you this: in scenario land, say, so what would be your strategy knowing this information now? And say, you're a junior, you're going to become a senior, and you can do both junior and senior.
Great.
So what do you want to do come June? Because obviously anything you do this May isn't going to matter.
Right.
Like,
So
don't do anything in May.
you mentioned something that
I'm just saying, don't waste your money unless you want to, practice.
Yeah.
But
I'd forgotten that, juniors, there's a change for you too.
yeah,
They've halved your points that you're going to earn
Halved.
at Junior Olympics,
50% less.
Junior Worlds,
Juniors.
and Continental Championships.
Juniors 50%.
Continental Championships
less.
actually stay at 20. But they said that Junior Olympics goes from 100 to 60, and Junior Worlds goes from 70 to 40 points that you'll earn for gold. And so that's an impact on juniors, because they didn't want juniors to have extra advantage over the seniors, which they would have.
Yeah, when they come into a senior.
And so you want to get,
So again, my question:
yes,
as a new senior,
yeah,
whether you're a new senior or still a junior senior,
yeah.
you can do both. What would be the best strategy come now? Right now.
Yeah.
Today is May 21st,
Yeah,
2024.
yeah.
I want to do a tournament. I want to get some points. I want to go to the Olympics in 2028.
Yeah.
What's
You
the
wanna-
best strategy right now?
Hopefully you've qualified for the U.S. National Championships by, getting a medal at a states or attending a regional
Regional East-West.
event, because you want to get on the U.S. team, and the way you get to U.S. team trials, the easiest way is to medal at national championships or medal at the final for, after the regional championship.
So this is for American.
This is for Americans, yeah.
Okay. And
Sorry.
then when you're done with that,
Yeah.
let's also cover international
Right.
athletes.
So so those people want to let's stick with the U.S. because I didn't finish that.
Okay.
You want to win or close to win at national championships, so you can go to team trials in January next year, because you want to go to Worlds next year.
Yes.
And you want to get noticed by one of the 3 teams. Of course, the Academy, which hasn't said what they're going to do after this Olympics, because a bunch of people have already left the team. After this Olympics, they're probably going to reboot, who is actually in the Academy. So you want to get noticed so you can get in the Academy, or you want to get onto ACE,
Yes.
or you want to get onto the other one, TOPS.
Tops.
So that you
AA's
can get
TOPS.
sponsored to go to the 3 Grand Prix challenges. One's in North Carolina. The other 2 are far-flung places in the world. I think one's in Muzhu, and there's another one in some other alien place to us. So you need to be able to travel to go to these vital events, and it costs a lot of money, and you need the exposure, and you need the points. So that's what you do.
Okay. So
Other countries, same thing with your country's details.
know your country's rules. There's 5 different, for the new people, there's 5 different Taekwondo unions within the World Taekwondo. And there's obviously there's Pan American, which covers Canada, U.S., Mexico,
All the way down to Argentina.
South America. Then we have what is Australia? Aren't they the
Oceania.
Oceania.
Yeah.
Oceania.
Yeah.
Union.
Yeah, but it's the smallest and only get one athlete to the Olympics.
Yeah, and then we have Africa.
Yep.
Union. We have the Asia, which is Korea.
Everybody east of Turkey.
China. Yeah, east of Turkey, and then we have, of course, the European Union. So that's the five?
That's it. Yeah.
That's five. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in each union has their own rules. In each country has their own national rules. So it's good to know to do your own research on your nation's rules so that you can get picked and get the most points for your country, so that you can get in World Taekwondo tournaments. But basically, everybody worldwide goes to 0 in June, and it will show up in July.
Yep.
And
yeah,
just my opinion, I wouldn't do anything this month if there's anything going on, unless it's nationwide and you want to get noticed in your nation, in your country.
Well, Nationals is the first week of July.
Well, that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we just had the regional USAT regional West.
Yeah.
And
East is coming up.
and East is in this weekend, May 31st.
End of May, yeah.
Yeah, end of May. And so that's important. And then
Yeah.
there's your state.
They've already happened.
Yeah. So that, and then, but there's another one in there, not nationals. There's one more.
It's called the final.
The final.
Which is like last year they called it the Grand Prix final, but that was too confusing.
Yeah. So that's important too. I think anybody can do that one as well.
Yeah, if you medal there, you get to go to team trials.
Yeah. So the final is USAT final is that July? No, because nationals July. So it's got to be in June.
What's that?
The final.
I think it's after nationals. It's in like August or September or something.
Okay, so that's different,
Yes.
and if you medal at that, you can go to team trials.
Right.
Okay, so it's like the USA loophole.
Right.
Okay.
And
for
so,
team trials.
just so you remember, this isn't that different from what's really happened these last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because some athletes came out of nowhere as a junior. For example, Sarah Chari from Belgium, very tall athlete who was doing 62 and now she's in Olympic 67. She was a junior, won junior worlds, then went to senior worlds, won senior worlds, and all of a sudden she's number 1. In a year and a half, she went from 0 to number 1 in female 67. Same thing sort of happened in male minus 80, where Jeonwoo Seo Jeonwoo from Korea,
He had a wild card.
he was like nothing, and a late teen, and went to Grand Prix Challenge, got him to a Grand Prix, and he won. He won the first Grand Prix he went to. Since then, he's won a bunch of Grand Prix, and that's how he qualified. He didn't even get to go to Worlds because Korea had another guy in his weight class. So he didn't get to go to Worlds and get any points whatsoever, or the Continental Championship, and he still gets the top 5 in the world in Olympic rankings
But CJ Nichols
because of the Grand Prix.
But CJ Nichols has beat him.
He sure did. He sure did. So that's exciting.
It's
So put on your dancing shoes. Oh, they said they're going to try to improve the PSS by having way more sensitive headgear and the punch target. So the punch target, not too excited about.
But only Dado has the punch target, which doesn't work very well. So that would mean KP&P would have to do the. They didn't say they were going to do that. They said that was ideas that they were talking about to try to make it more interesting to watch.
Yeah, simpler and faster with less delays. That's what the ambition is, because that's important.
The problem with the electronic system, the PSS, is that the ideas are good, but in theory, but in reality, that's adding more variables, which will just totally screw up the matches and make them longer, because they still can't get. I mean, I still think KP&P with RFID technology versus electromagnetic, which is Dado, is way outdated. They need to just go with KP&P. That's just my opinion. because it's a better technology and it's more consistent. But KPMP, I don't know how they could do the
Right.
chest thing.
Right.
You know, but and still, you've got to have the referees to like acknowledge it and okay the punch in the chest.
Right. And you know what another junior or even a cadet might be really trying to do right now is you want to get on the U.S. Olympic team in 2028 because it's in Los Angeles. That means the U.S. gets 2 automatic female, 2 automatic male that they can send to the Olympics. And it isn't necessarily a top 5 person. So there will be new rules about, the U.S. Olympic team, but they're going to want the best bets to win medals at the 28 Olympics in LA because they want to dominate, and that's not likely, but, good on them for trying.
All right, do we have anything else that we need to cover?
I think we did pretty good covering this. We'll again,
Go
post the
over everything
links.
real quick.
Yeah, I took a glance at it.
We should also post the video that we watched, that we got the information that we had to watch many times.
We'll post it.
Uh,
It's on YouTube.
yeah.
It's an hour and 7 minutes. And we'll post a picture of what it is.
And it was in French and Spanish and English.
Yeah, it was a guy who
They're
was speaking.
interpreting.
Some of the questions were in French and Spanish.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
No, I think it's very exciting.
Okay.
I like this new system. It's changing it up.
Well, but basically, unless do your national stuff this month,
Yeah.
but don't really do anything.
Now, if only they could take the cards away from the coaches. But I didn't say that.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
How do I stop it?
We're good.